Today I'm going to go through the steps that I use to make this window frame and the method of attaching the window frame to the van. After measuring the width and the height of the window, I made this frame out of 3/4 inch plywood, and I test fitted it around the frame, and it's pretty snug. So now I'm going to go ahead and make the final wooden frame out of hard maple. So the material I'm going to use is 3.5 inch wide and 8 feet long. I finish coated one side and rough coat the back side, because the back side you're not going to see. So those are CR Laurence bunk windows that are in the van, and the dimensions of this frame, the inside board, which runs from here to there, is 33¼ inches long, and the outside board is 12 inches. So this board, so I need 2 pieces 12 inches long and 2 pieces 33¼ inches long. I like to have enough on the pieces when I cut it to trim the ends of the board, just to make sure that they're square and to cut off any blemishes. So I'm making the pieces a little bit longer than 33¼ maybe about 35 inches. I'm going to have 2 pieces 35 and 2 pieces about 12.5 inches. So to make sure that these boards are exactly the same length, I've measured this top one at 33¼ inches. I put the 2 boards together, line up the cut ends, so that they're absolutely perfect. Two boards 33¼ inches long. So the next one is 12 inches. So I cut most of this end off here because I don't like it. This is a pretty smooth end. So I'm going to cut this at maybe 13. That's a good spot. 12 inches. Again, stack my boards. Make sure the ends are perfectly lined. And that's a good spot. 2 boards, 12 inches. Now I'm going to connect these boards together with pocket screws. And you want the pocket screws to be on the outside because when you finish your frame, you certainly don't want pocket screw holes in your frame. So you put them on the longer pieces because it's going to be connected like this. So the pocket screw will go in through the longer piece into the shorter piece. And it'll look like that. This is going to be the back side, so the pocket screws are going to go on here. So I always like to mark on the board where the pocket screws are going to be because it's so easy to put it in the fixture and get mixed up and put them in the wrong end. So it can be there. As I got 2 sides, I got a really nice finished side on this board, kind of more of a rough finish on the back side. And it's going to look like this, pocket screws. And pocket screws. Now I want to show you that when you drill your pocket hole, sometimes the tip of the drill will break through onto the surface. And if that happens, it gives you a little bit of a raised area. So when you go to connect your board together, you're going to have a little bit of a space, ever how small, because that little raised area is going to stop these boards from being screwed together really tight. So what you want to do is you want to remove that little raised area with a little chisel or some sandpaper before you assemble these boards together. Well, that fits very snug. And that is how you fit a wooden frame around a CR Laurence window. So I've attached my first wood support to the metal structure. And maybe I'll just use one more metal screw to make sure it's nice and solid. Oops. Try that again. And I put lines on my board so that I know where I should be putting these metal screws in to hit the metal frame of the van. So we'll apply a little glue to my 2x3. Make it nice and even. Oh, gotta get a bigger clamp. There. So that'll give me support for my shiplap and will allow me to put a couple of screw nails in through the window frame in order to hold it into place. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And then my first piece of shiplap will go in like this, running all across the top of the window. Just to recap what I've got here, I took 1/2-inch plywood, cut it into strips, and I attached the first one with metal screws into the steel structure of the van, and then I used wood screws and I attached it on top of the first one. So I've got 1-inch thickness of plywood. I spaced it such that I was able to put a 2x3 between the windowsill and the plywood, and I have glued that 2x3 onto this piece of plywood. This is going to allow me to install the shiplap in this area. So I'm going to cut my first piece of shiplap to go on top here. But this windowsill is going to be held in place by screws that will come in this direction into this 2x3, and then the shiplap attached accordingly. So I'm going to go out and cut a piece of shiplap to mount on the top here over top of the windowsill and start to put it into place. So here's my first piece of shiplap that I've cut, and I'll install it like this. And then what I'll do is I'll attach a piece of wood, glue it to this cabinet to hold it on the outside, and screw nails in. So there we have the first piece of shiplap in. It's good to use up all the space that's available in a van, and I'm going to build a shelf, a recessed shelf that will sit in this area here. But that's going to be in another video.